You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Ross, the Tar Heel, and in this huddle, baby, we're going to talk about the Heels taking a little trip up to the Steel City to take on the Pitt Panthers in an extremely important ACC game for both teams, man. So let's just start things off by taking a look at the updated ACC standings. And we can see that Puke is at the top at 9-0, Clemson is 9-1, Louisville is 8-1, Wake Forest is 7-2, Carolina, Stanford, and SMU are 6-3, and the Pitt Panthers are currently 4-4. The ACC slate starts with a game later on tonight. At the time of the making of this video, we've got the Wolfsack at Puke at 8:30 p.m. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, on January 28th, we've got Wake Forest at Louisville, which has direct ramifications for the North Carolina Tar Heels. We've got Georgia Tech at Notre Dame. And of course, we've got our game, the Tar Heels at the Pitt Panthers, man. So let's jump headfirst into this thing. Carolina comes into this game having literally barely escaped defeat at the hands of the Boston College Golden Eagles in Chapel Hill by securing a 102-96 overtime victory against BC. It was a game in which, Carolina had a fairly effective offensive attack, which saw 5 Tar Heels score 13 or more points, which was great. But then that in and of itself was marred by one of the worst defensive performances, that these eyes have ever seen, pertaining to the North Carolina basketball program. If Carolina's going to compete with the better teams down the stretch, man, they are going to have to lock in on defense. Pure, plain, and simple, man. Now, the Heels are led by head coach Hubert Davis, who is 91-39 in his 4th year at Carolina, which is good for a 700 win percentage. The Heels' leading scorer is a 6', 180-pound senior guard, R.J. Davis, who is averaging 17.7 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, and 3.9 assists. He's shooting 39.3% from the floor and 29.5% from beyond the arc. Carolina's leading rebounder is a 6'10", 235-pound junior forward, Jalen Washington, who's averaging 5 rebounds per game to go along with 6.9 points himself. And their leading facilitator is the 6'1", 180-pound sophomore point guard, Elliot Cadeau, who's averaging 6.1 assists to 3 turnovers per game. He's also averaging 10.7 points per game and 3.2 rebounds while shooting 45.4% from the floor and 29.4% from 3. Now, the Pitt Panthers are coming off of a 77-73 win at Syracuse, which stopped their 4-game losing streak. And Jalen Lowe dropped 22 points, and Ishmael Leggett added 16 himself. Now, Pitt is led by head coach Jeff Capel, first name Felton, who is 110-98, good for a 529 win percentage in his 7th year at Pitt. And you guys already know that we have absolutely zero love loss for this guy. Now, the Panthers' leading scorer and assist man is a 6'3", 175-pound sophomore guard, Jalen Lowe, who's averaging 17.6 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 5.7 assists. He's shooting 38.5% from the field and 26.8% from beyond the arc. And their leading rebounder is the 6'10", 235-pound junior forward, Cameron Corrin, who's averaging 5.8 boards to go along with 10.7 points per game himself. Now, as far as both of the teams are concerned, the Heels are averaging 82.5 points per game, and they're giving up 76.4. And the Pitt Panthers are scoring 80.2 points per game and giving up 70.9. Carolina averages more rebounds and assists. The Pitt Panthers average more blocks and steals. So, now that we've looked at the individual leaders and team statistics, let's get into Russ's 3 keys to a Tar Heel victory, man. And key number 1 is going to be this. You have got to guard at the top, dude. Jalen Lowe and Ishmael Leggett make up one of the best backcourt duos in the Atlantic Coast Conference, man. EC and RJ have got to defend the perimeter because these guys are legitimate hoopers with the potential to score a ton of points, man. If Carolina is as porous at Pitt as they were against BC at home, bro, it is going to be a long freaking day, bro. You already know the chances of Carolina pressing in any way, shape, or form are slim to none. So guess what? We're not even going to put that in here as a key because I just don't think it's going to happen. So you got to guard at the top, man. You got to play really good, solid man-to-man defense and stay on these guys' hips. Key number 2, we're going to stick with the guards, bro. Penetrate. All right? Staying in the backcourt. We're going to focus on EC and RJ in this game. And you can even throw Ian Jackson in there, getting to the middle of the floor. EC has obviously been very careless with the rock in far too many games this season, but I still need him to be aggressive and get to the middle, man. He's been strong to the rim, and it obviously opens up the drop-offs to the bigs and the step-in threes with guys hanging out there on the perimeter, dude. However, the Heels cannot just settle for throwing it around the perimeter. They have got to penetrate this Pitt defense, man. And key number 3 is this, and pay close attention. Intensity. All right, you need to play like your tournament hopes depend on it, because they do. We talk all the time about how much North Carolina means to some of us, man, alumni and North Carolinians alike. And Coach Davis left that BC game with a post-game speech that tried to convey that message to this team, right? Quote, playing here is more than just playing here. That's what Davis told the team, right? Everything significant in my life has happened here. I just didn't go to school here. I just didn't play here. I just didn't graduate here. This is where I became a Christian. This is where I fell in love with my wife. This is where we got married. This is where I bought my first house. This is where we decided to raise our 3 kids. Like, this is not a job. This is my home. And it's the home of every one of the other assistant coaches as well. And every other coach, because they've experienced this place, can say the same things. When you put on that uniform, when you're in that locker room, when you run through that tunnel and play on that floor, it's more than just basketball, dude. And as much as I have been personally displeased with some of the decisions or lack thereof from HD this season, that, my friends, is the very reason why so many of us are pleading with him to be successful. The guy loves Carolina, man. He loves Carolina like I love Carolina. Hell, he probably loves Carolina more than I stinking love Carolina. I doubt it, though. But play with some stinking intensity, man. That'll take us to the prediction portion of the show. And as always, I like to start things off by taking a look at the ESPN matchup indicator, which gives the Pitt Panthers a 56.5% chance at beating the Heels at their house, man. Now listen, to be completely honest with you, just like most of the games going into the rest of the season, this is an absolute toss-up game, in my opinion, okay? Jalen Washington's coming off of a scary fall against the Eagles, in which he says that he's fine, so it'll be very interesting to see how well he moves around, as, you know, regardless of the limitations, he's already not the best low-post defender, but that shouldn't necessarily play a big factor in this game, as Pitt really doesn't have a huge body down low, okay? Carolina, man, they absolutely have to win a few of these games coming up, okay? The question is did HD's post-game speech reach anyone in that locker room, man? I really hope that it did. I've got this one, North Carolina, 74, and the Pitt Panthers, 72. And Carolina gets a hard-fought win against the Fighting Feltons of Pitt. Like I said, yes, that's Jeff Capel's actual first name. And this stinking roller coaster of a season continues, my friends. So you let me know what you think about this game down in the comment section, Tar Heel and Pitt Panther Nation, dude. And before we get out of here, you already know I got to shout out to my Huddle Hooligans, man. If you'd be interested in helping this family grow, consider becoming a member by finding that join button down there, and you will get access to the channel's Discord. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And you already know I love you, Tar Heel Nation. It's a great day to be a Tar Heel, baby. And we will see you during the watch party tomorrow at 9 p.m. Go Heels, baby.